We ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala on a Wednesday. Time now to have our first guest today on a busy day, and glad to have busy man, City Councilman John McLeod. John, nice to see you again.
Hey, buddy, how are you? Good to see you, and I like the new digs out here. They're very nice.
We wanted you to come out and see them and check them out, and you get some interesting people who walk by here.
Very interesting, and I noticed that you're just a few feet away from the food court. Mr. Smith is getting a little larger.
Yeah, well, it is a temptation during the break to run over there and get a bite to eat.
I bet, absolutely.
It's a little better than what we had set up before, so I'll say that. But glad you came on today. Excuse me, I don't know if you know or not, but we have Janey coming in at 4 o'clock, and she's been very actively involved in the concert series, which you know about Field Downtown. And I said also that I talked to Bryce Peak today, and they are both, Janey and Bryce, headed to a conference on Main Street USA, which is a very good program. I knew a little bit about it when I was over Southwest Florida, the city, one of the cities down there, got involved in it. And it's funding, and you have to meet a certain criteria, but it's a great program, and one that would be, if we could get that, if that in fact did come about, and we were able to apply for it and get chosen, it would be a great way to jumpstart everything downtown.
Yeah, it'd be a wonderful feather in our cap, and I can't say enough about Janey and Bryce. I mean, Bryce is like a son to me. I coached him in football. He's my son's age, and all the way through high school was his coach, and all those boys ate me out of house and home, but they've really done a great job with that, and to be able to get that type of designation would be wonderful for our city.
Well, yeah, and we'll know more about it. I'm going to have them on when they get back from the event, and I made a statement yesterday. I guess you might have accidentally caught part of it about my rant about having the ball at the 5-yard line and pushing it across, and I ticked off some of all the things. In fact, I had a discussion with some people that you know downtown who were not in politics about the very same thing. We're so close on so many things. I know you've been actively involved in many of these things, but the whole downtown thing with Linear Park, and then you go out to the possibilities of what happening with private funds at Tuscaloosa with the auditorium, which would be a tremendous venue if that gets done. And I'm told, by the way, that it's going to get done probably, and I understand the money people are, they're in pretty good shape at this point in time. That they got an upcoming event of some kind, and then you've got the usual things we talk about a lot. Silver Springs being near and dear to my heart and yours, which I'm not real happy about. Some of the lack of disclosure on in terms of the state. Still waiting for a return call from the head of the Parks Division, who told me he would gladly come on to the show. Or somebody in the staff, and he was very nice on the phone and said get back to me, and he didn't, and I called him, and I have not heard back from him yet. So we'll see. That doesn't mean he's not doing anything. He's just, so far he hasn't delivered on what he said he'd do. That concerns me. I'm still concerned about the events at the concessions, which have gone kind of sideways on us and what we thought was going to happen. And then we got things like the New York Yankees, which I understand there's a little progress on in terms of the negotiation with the Yankees. They still have to have the other piece, which is I want to ask you about today, which is the getting the stadium. I probably forgotten a few things. That's enough for the moment. So I'm going to just throw it out to you, generally speaking. You feeling momentum for all of those, any of those? What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, actually I do, buddy. But where do you want to start? Do you want to start
with the ones that you think are most important? Let's start downtown, since that's what you deal with.
In downtown, and I'll give you my thoughts and philosophies and where I am on things. It's obvious in the past we've made some mistakes. That was before my time in office. I think it's my job to study those mistakes. But when I say that, we've got a lot of momentum. We're right here this close, and I want to see it go through. These are good deals. These are deals with local businessmen, local capital. They're not talking about going out and borrowing the money. They're talking about putting their own money in it. They all have businesses downtown. They all have property downtown. Do you think they want something that's going to fail? The better they do with that, the more they succeed. So these are good projects. They're good for the city. They're good for the citizens. They're good for everyone involved. And
you're talking Senator Bride, Kirk Boone,
right,
Albert Peak,
right.
Bryce Peak.
There's several different projects, but I mean, again, these guys have come to the table with their own money, and they live here, and that's what we wanted. That's what was in the 2030 vision plan, and that's what we've said we wanted from day one, is local people involved, local capital involved, and that's what we have. And I'm a big proponent of a parking garage. I've said that multiple times.
Yes, you have. On this show multiple
You
times.
can't really show me a vibrant downtown anywhere that doesn't have a parking garage, and we need that. What they're asking us to do is move up our time frame, because we're going to build one anyway. At some point, we're going to build one. We have some of the money set aside in our CRA for that anyway. Excuse me. They're asking us to move our time frame up and build that parking garage. Well, my time frame is now. I want to build a parking garage now because we need it downtown. We don't need to wait till it's too late to do that. And so for me, that's kind of a no-brainer. Other council members have different thoughts, and that's fine, and that's why we have to work through things. You know, government's a process. It's not just John's ideas. It's a collection of 5 council members, and we have to come to a consensus, and that's how our government's run. But so sometimes it takes a little longer to do things than you and I would, but you know, that's what makes our government so unique and efficient. And I say efficient, and everyone's going to probably throw something through their radio set right now, but when you look at it compared to the rest of the world, there is no system out there that's better than ours.
Well, we're a lot better shape than Detroit is, I'll put it that way, for cities.
Well, absolutely. And I'm not just talking cities. I'm talking about our way of government compared to everyone else. And we're pretty good shape here.
All right. Thank you for that candor. I appreciate that. And I agree with you on, you have to have a sense of urgency about something you're doing, and you can't sit back and wait forever. I'm anxious to know what. Let me ask you a question I was told to ask you by somebody extremely important.
That could be loaded.
How about the white lights on the square? Going back with the all white lights.
I think that's a very good idea. And the more people I talk to, they like the older lights. Well, I said older lights. They like the more of a white light. It actually illuminated Ocala.
Especially during the holidays now.
During the holidays, illuminated more downtown.
Yeah.
The icicles.
Just don't get it.
There's some people that like those. There's some like this, but you know, I did my test last night, and she'll kill me for saying this, but since my wife has a store downtown, honey, do you like the icicles? No.
Yeah.
And you know, she's not one for a lot. She doesn't elaborate, just no. I like the old lights better. Yeah. And since then I've asked
very smart lady,
10 or 12 people, and they agree that the old lights. So we're going to try to bring that up at council and see if we can get a buy-in from the different council members. Two things
on that. Hey, my wife was the one who asked about it. She asked, that's her one thing of all the things downtown, everything, forget everything else, you know, the hotel, whatever. White lights is what she wants to have, obviously. But and then the other thing was, I had someone tell me that who's a pretty smart guy, said I could sit right here in Starbucks and I can get 1,000 signatures on a petition if I need to get the white lights back in a heartbeat. So hopefully
we don't need that.
We don't need that.
Hopefully we need just 3 council members to say that's a good idea.
That'd be good.
That would be the easier way to do it.
Count me in as one who's in favor of the white lights. I think these guys are too.
If I lived in the city and the white lights don't come back, I'd vote out whoever was in office.
He's serious about it. Now they had a recall in Colorado now over gun control. You know, 2 guys lost their seats in legislature in Colorado, 2 Democrats. So just remember that can happen to people.
See, and I think
that high-paying job you got, you don't want to lose that.
I think the white lights should stay in the trees year round.
Well, and actually, Tom, there's a lot of people that like to see some form of lighting. Obviously, you don't want the same thing as you have for Light Up Ocala year round, but there is a group of people out there that love to see some type of lighting, and some downtowns have it.
We actually had those white lights up year round, for a while.
For a while, that's because we didn't take them down in a timely manner. But
I understand.
But a different type of lighting in the trees that kind of illuminates downtown, and I think that's a good idea.
The excuse that it costs too much money, electric bill, I have to see that.
Well,
I got to see that. I can't. I have a hard time buying it.
I'm sure if it generates activity downtown, I'm sure we could probably find the money to do so.
Yeah. So what else? What other things are you hearing about? How do you feel about it's not the city's project per se, meaning the city council? What are you hearing about our Tuscaloosa Park and our concert hall?
Well, you probably actually have heard more than I have. I mean, I just hear what comes in front of us for the most part, and I haven't really spoken to anybody. But I know there's a big effort, a fundraising effort to raise some money, and we donated from. I believe that was, I'm almost sure it was. We donated from our council budget to that also, our personal council budget that we have. And I think that's going to be wonderful. We need a concert hall. We need someplace permanent. And what better place to do it than the old Armory building? And, let's not tear it down. Let's redo it and use it and keep a bit of history there for all of us. I think it's be wonderful.
Late Augie Griner and I had this idea 20 years ago that we need to have some kind of facility where we can have music, we have concerts, besides out in Silver Springs, and what an all-purpose place would be to have concerts. And of course, we never thought about it at the time about the existing facility. Of course, you're not old enough to remember the great times that were had at the auditorium. As a kid growing up, that's where we had many great events, from proms to dances to really a wonderful place for everybody in our era.
Well, I actually went to proms at the Armory too.
Did you really?
So,
okay, well, surprise.
I'll be 50 next month. So
I didn't know what year they tore it down.
I do stretch back just a little ways.
Yeah, so you're kind of bridging that gap right there. All right, so now I'm going to ask you, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back. I'm going to ask you to help me. Maybe we need to referee some of the things going on of dispute among some of our elected officials. And although it's not your territory, you are a private citizen. You pay taxes.
Sure.
Let's see if we can make peace somehow or another, okay?
Okay.
Take a break. Come back with City Councilman John McLeod after this time out on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
WOCA.
Alice?
Yes, George. George, you're all wet.
I went to Devon Self-Storage and put back my fishing gear.
Okay. You know Devon Self-Storage is open early and you had all day to bring your fishing gear back. And they're right across from Hobby Lobby.
I know. I have my own code to get into Devon Self-Storage. And their phone number, too, is 873-0777.
So why did you wait till it started raining?
I didn't. I slipped getting the boat out of the water.
Boat?
Bye!
George?
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Get checked for skin cancer right now because you may not even know you have it. Because teens are addicted to the sun-kissed glow from tanning beds. If you naturally wake up on your own after just 6 hours of sleep, meaning without using an alarm, then you're probably getting all the rest your body needs. We should all be eating a lot more onions. That's because they're packed with fermentable carbohydrates. Fermentable carbs can do everything from help us lose weight to fight deadly diseases.
Intelligence for your life. Don't miss this stuff.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and
96.3 FM, The Source.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA.
All right, City Councilman John McLeod. John, before we go to the other subject about making peace, on the Silver Springs issue, I've really got a little bit upset about the fact that there's some backroom, feel like it's backroom discussions going on and dealings going on that the state has not come forward with. That I'm hearing from second and third hand from people who kind of know, but yet no one's coming forward. And again, the one thing I can't forgive, particularly of an elected official, is people who try to fly under the radar. I understand you can't tell everything you know. Mm-hmm. Although if I was ever in office, I'd say, don't tell me anything you don't want known, because I'm going to tell the public, because it's their money. Mm-hmm. Bottom line is are you a little bit worried that we haven't had more forthright discussions from the state about what's going on with Silver Springs?
Yes, and I have been since day one. I don't know whether it was, and I'm just being frank, John Citizen here, not. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but your family was connected to your family was involved in it.
I don't know if we dropped the ball on the Marion County end, right, or we dropped the ball on the legislative end,
right, or all the above,
or the executive branch. And I will say this: I don't really like the directions that it's going. I wanted more local control, mm-hmm. With vendors and the whole idea with an oversight by Marion County, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that would be in charge of it. And the other thing, though, is I do want to take just a second and give a shout out to Senator Dean and the rest of our legislative body, but mostly Senator Dean, because he has done a tireless job of getting extra funding for Silver Springs. People don't realize how hard he has worked, and you see these extra monies coming in for cleanup and everything. That's the tip of the iceberg, because he's a believer in cleaning up not just Silver Springs but Rainbow Springs.
Where he's from in Citrus County. I went over to visit with Senator Dean. He
was born in Marion County, and of course he lives over there now.
And swam in Silver Springs, by the way.
Yes, and so there should be a shout out to him for all the hard work he's done.
I like Charlie. I visited Charlie. I think he's really been supportive.
He's committed. He's very committed.
I don't know if we've gotten enough support altogether, because I don't know what really happened in Tallahassee. Mm-hmm. But let's not kill the time off with that. No. Let's ask you real quick two things. I got 30 seconds for the Gators after we get done. So if you want to,
it only takes 30 seconds for the Gators.
The disputes that we're having now, the sheriff and the county commission, mm-hmm. the school board, the city council. Mm-hmm. I don't have to tell you, as John, private citizen, the public doesn't want to hear that. Mm-hmm. They really get a little tired of it. Negotiations are one thing, bickering is something else. It reminds us too much of what's happened in Washington. Mm-hmm. So my question to you is, since you have to deal and mediate, what would you suggest to be able to help them get over this hump, to be able to deal with the reality of the situation?
Well, let's take on the subject of the sheriff and the county commission, and this is not meant any particular way towards anyone, but again, the county commission's they're the ones that are holding the purse strings. They're the ones that have to make the judgment calls on how much money can go there. The sheriff, and with all due respect, he's got to live within their parameters. My police chief, Greg Graham, he has to live within the parameters we set, and some of them aren't easy. And and again, I don't want to get into their battle too much.
Sure, I understand that.
But again, Greg has done a wonderful job for us, and although we've been tough and we haven't been able to give him everything we've wanted to, he's got his wish list, but then he's got what he can deal with. And that's what he's done for us. He says, okay, I can deal with this. This is how many years I can deal with this until it gets to the critical point. And I can't say enough for what he's done. So I'm not changing the subject. I'm just saying you've got a critical list of what you can and can't do with, and you've got your wish list. And the county commission can only deal with how much money they got. I
guess it depends upon really the how deep you can cut to. All right, the rest of the time, your beloved Gators really didn't do well last week.
No, they didn't. When you have that many turnovers, this is the football coach in me. I did coach high school football for, a good 12 years. I'd like to see the quarterback with only 2 reads, and then his third read be his feet, number 1. And number 2, I'd like to see some of the younger running backs get a little break earlier in the game, opportunity to run the football.
Coach John McLeod on those Gators. John, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we've got Janey Pope in the house, followed by the Bear after the timeout on.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's national magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of Kinetic Motion Fitness here in Ocala, Florida. A lot of you have experienced our great classes in personal small group training, but did you know we now offer dynamic workouts on DVD? These high-quality, locally produced, effective DVD workouts can go where you go. Going on vacation? No problem. We can go with you. Friends and relatives out of town who are jealous that you get to come to KMF? No problem. We ship anywhere in the United States for free. Our great lineup of 4 DVDs includes Kinetic Achieve, Kinetic Couples, Kinetic Core, and Kinetic Campus. 4 great workouts for the entire family on DVD. Sound interesting? Check them out on our website at kmfocala.com. While you're there, check out our class schedule and come see us. We're only 5 minutes from downtown across from the Skylark Plaza. Visit kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. KMF will get you results at our studio or at home with one of our DVDs. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are. Visit kmfocala.com for more information.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
WOCA, Ocala.
Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to Dairy Queen for a great new meal. Dairy Queen's now serving 3 different $5 meals. Hot dogs with chili, cheese, slaw, whatever. Quarter pound with cheese, loaded up any way you like it. Solid filet chicken tenders. And each meal comes with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $5. You got that right. Nobody beats that deal. A great value and a great meal. So come on down to Dairy Queen at Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, less proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000, 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
It's been 12 years, but the memories of September 11th, 2001 are still all too clear for many Americans. Some are marking the anniversary of the attacks that killed nearly 3,000 people by volunteering. This year, you'll have to decide more than just whether to get a flu shot. There are more than a dozen varieties available, from what's in it to how it's delivered. Where you live and how old you are may be factors too. Is Apple part of your 401k? Then you've probably lost a little money over the past few days, even with the new iPhone announcements. If Facebook's in your portfolio, though, you're going to like this. The stock hit a record high today, trading at as much as $45 a share earlier. Women may say that men only have one thing on their mind, but a new survey of guys who date online appears to contradict that belief. About 3/4 of respondents to the dating site Anastasia Date say their number one goal is to find a woman with whom to have a relationship. This is ABC News.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-888-534-3605. 1-888-534-3605. That's 1-888-534-3605. 1-888-534-3605.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry. We didn't leave you.
He's gone. He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on. Stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Like the man says, hour 2 of the program called The Voice of Ocala. It's a Wednesday, hump day here. We're at Paddock Mall. I keep forgetting to tell certain people that we're at the Paddock Mall, including our guests. And Janey Pope, who's scheduled to be here, went to the Cascades. I'm sorry, Janey. Hopefully you'll make it in. If not, we'll talk to you on the phone. Janey, of course, is getting busy for the Field Downtown concert series, which kicks off this Friday. We'll catch up with her one way or the other, either in the flesh or on the phone, one of the two. So she'll be coming at 4:30. Mayor Guinn joins us. He wasn't going to be out of town, but he's back. He's got some things he wants to address. We'll check with him on what's the latest with discussions about the New York Yankees, other projects he's working on. Sad news up in Gainesville today. Larry Travis, former offensive guard for University of Florida back in the 60s under Ray Graves, became a really good coach and became the head coach of Kansas State, among other things, and coached in football a long time, came back to Gainesville, elected to the city council and became mayor, has passed away. Just received word from a friend of mine up in Virginia, actually, and able to confirm with Hubert Mizell up in Gainesville that, in fact, that Larry had passed away. So R.I.P. to Larry Travis, a great Gator and a very committed citizen in Gainesville, a guy who really tried to come back to town and give back to his city. We talked a little about 9/11 in the first hour. We won't discuss too much more about it today other than to say that what did we learn from 9/11? Well, we agreed that what we learned is that we can never be safe for sure, is that we can't think it's never going to happen here, not going to happen to me, because it did happen, and that's the shock that hit us that day 12 years ago. Thankfully, we have avoided any other such catastrophes in the last 12 years. We're grateful for that. But every time we have a story like we have in Syria, it comes to light that we are in danger. There's clear and present danger out there for us, and we must take nothing for granted. Coming up in a minute, so we have time, we'll have our most popular TV catchphrases. Now, I thought they'd get some from advertisements or commercials, not so much. You guys think for a second while I read this next story and tell me if you can think of any particular phrase that came from a TV show, and there have been zillions of them, that resonate with you and you can remember them. There's always one in your favorite TV show, one line uttered by one character that you could remember. And this particular article I read has got top 60. Actually, it's got top 100, but they narrowed it down to 60. I thought the oldest person in the world was about 117. That's the last time I saw that, and it turns out apparently, if this is to be believed, the story today on Huffington Post, someone named the Hakobo Eba, Ethiopian farmer, claims he's 160 years old.
Stop it!
Wow. I feel pretty young right now.
Stop. 106.
Cannot be real.
It's Huffington Post has gotten taken.
Said he made this statement. A video was recorded. The reporter was impressed by his knowledge about local history. So after he talked about the local history he'd lived, the reporter became convinced he was this retired farmer. They must be at least 16 decades old. So particularly, he talked about, with great vivid memories, Italy's 1895 invasion of Ethiopia. So either he learned that or he experienced it. If Eba's age can be verified, he'd be the oldest person ever recorded, beating out a woman named Jean Calment, French, who was how old?
117.
122. 120. The oldest person in the world presently, I think, might be 117. Although it says here, Guinness Book of World Records says that Maseo Aqua is 114, and she is the oldest person in the world currently.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so anyway, interesting story. 160 years old. Wow.
Impossible.
Just, by the way, Augie Guinn Jr., being the smart aleck that he is, when I said something about going to dances over at the auditorium, and John McLeod said, "Oh, I've been there. I went there too." And John says, "I'm only 50." I said, "Well, I didn't know where the line of debarkation was on this."
Right.
And so I got a text from Augie Guinn, and I said, "I went to dances at the City Auditorium also. Augie does." So I texted back, "Hey, I guess I'm younger than I thought I was." He said, "I didn't say that." So I owe you one there, Griner. You guys got a catchphrase for TV yet?
Oh yeah, I know.
Don't look them up now. Don't Google.
No, you said from one of your favorite TV shows.
Yeah. Do you have one?
Yeah, I have two. that have to be on there. I guarantee you. I have 2 of them that have to be on there.
Well, number one, it's got to be pretty obvious. It's the guy we talk about on this show a lot, and it's a late night guy. It's
I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
Ed McMahon. Here's Johnny.
That's number one. Now, of course,
thought about that.
JJ thinks that's Johnny Manziel. He didn't really know who that is, but
here's the two that come to mind immediately for me, buddy, from TV shows that I watched was Joey Tribbiani on Friends going, "How you doing?" That has to be on the list.
Number 4.
And when I was a kid of 10 or 11 years old, Gary Coleman saying, "What you talking about, Willis?" Those 2 have to be on the list if it's TV shows.
Yeah, it's on the list somewhere, but I'm not really sure where it is. But it's on the list. I got the top 10 plus others, and that Gary Coleman phrase, I remember seeing it. Now, JJ, what were some of the sitcoms you watched as a kid?
None that really had catchphrases that I remember,
No?
buddy.
Okay.
I just remember, stupid ones like one episode of Seinfeld, the Serenity Now one. But that's not like a catchphrase they keep saying over and over.
Is this Yahoo TV that you're looking at, buddy?
Yeah.
What you're talking about, Willis? I just opened it up. It's,
It's
the
on
5th
there.
one.
Is it 5? I know it's on
Number
the
5.
list, yeah.
I didn't even think about any of these.
Well, and then, of course, now that you got the list in front of you, you can guess them all. But
I can't think of any of them.
Now, JJ, can you? If I mention a program, since Tom's got the list in front of me, he can't play anymore. If I said to you a TV show, can you think of? You want to take a shot at?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Now you wouldn't know the Brady Bunch. I know that. And let's see if I can find one.
Marsha.
Yeah. That's in it.
How would he not know the Brady
It's
Bunch?
easy.
Yeah, that's in
That's
it.
easy.
Well, I don't know.
How about The Simpsons, JJ?
Don't.
That's number 2 on the
gotta
list.
be on there.
Number 2.
All right, so
I could do it. I just couldn't think of it without you saying the show.
no, I would probably do that well on this. Then the famous one, I'd say this would be a top 10, came from the original Hawaii 5-0.
Book 'em, Dano.
Well, you can't say that. You disqualified. You got the list.
No, but I know the phrase. Hey, see, I've only looked at the first 5.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't have the whole list in front of me. Let me give you a show, and you and JJ see if you can figure it out.
The first 5.
Okay, here's an obvious one. The Apprentice, Donald Trump.
You're fired.
There you go. That's easy, okay? You see how this works? Okay. Let me give you this one. Emerald Lagasse.
Bam.
You got it.
Wow.
See?
I didn't even know that Emerald Lagasse did that.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me think. You haven't got that one. You won't know. Oh, this is an easy one. Seinfeld, Soup Nazi.
No soup for you.
Exactly. And this is Saturday Night Live's Church Lady.
Isn't that special?
I don't know that one.
Yeah, that's a famous one. Well, isn't that special? Skip that one. Let's see. How about
just name one, buddy.
All right, Columbo. You won't know that one.
Just one more thing.
That's it.
I love Columbo. That was a Columbo. He'd always touch his head and go,
No.
Just one more thing.
Spock, Star Trek.
Live well and prosper?
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a big Star Trek guy.
I'm not either, but you might. I don't know what you watch, but okay, here's one.
But I should have known that.
This is a famous, at the Golden Globes, at the red carpet, Joan Rivers always asks the question.
What are you wearing? Who are you wearing?
Exactly. And this is a very famous one from a guy who had a show called The Price is Right.
Oh, the Johnny guy. Come on down.
That's right. Johnny Olsen.
Johnny Olsen. He did that for like 30 years, didn't he?
At least. And, of course, the famous Walter Cronkite phrase at the end of every phrase.
That's the way it was.
There you go. And finally won the one
That's on
from
the list. Very good.
That's number 7. And the other one is Survivor. The Survivor, Jeff Probst's final words to the House.
I've never watched the show, so.
Survivor is, dang, what does he say? Something that you got to leave the island. You've been voted off the island.
Janey Pope says
that's not
the tribe
Janey Pope.
has spoken.
She's done.
The tribe
has spoken. Exactly.
Okay.
She got it right. She's here now.
That's such an old show.
Take your time. Sit down. We're going to take a little break, and you can just relax, and we'll get you set up down there, Janey. Thanks for coming in. And those are your lists. Again, your list is here's Johnny. Duh. Yada, yada, yada.
Wait, what'd you say about
That was
Dope.
horrible.
No.
No.
Yada, yada, yada.
How you doing? What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about,
The tribe has spoken, and that's the way it was. Who are you wearing? Come on down. It's going to be legend. Wait for it. Daring.
That's
comes
Barney from
Neil
How I Met
Patrick
Your Mother.
Harris from How I Met Your Mother. Never watched the
that's
show.
Barney.
So, okay, Janey, but when you're here, you hurried so much, I got to get you. Let's get her on right now for a couple of minutes. Janey, thanks for coming over. Sorry, I forgot to tell you we were not at the Cascades anymore.
Oh, no problem, buddy. I'm sorry I'm late. It's a good problem to have, though. This is so awesome over here.
I wanted you to come over to the studio, and we have lots to talk about. Cramming. We got the mayor waiting outside.
Okay.
But we want to get you in, and I want to talk to you. We'll be thinking about this. Your concert series. Give us a quick comment on that, and we'll get back to it.
Yeah, Friday kicks it off. We're starting off with Edwin McCain, a national recording artist. He's known for one of the really big chart-topping hits. I don't want to say it yet, so we'll get there. But Edwin McCain, Need to Breathe. Jeremy Rosado was a former Top 10 Idol contestant. We have Heather Friedman, who's a jazz artist from Orlando, who's performing during the Ocala Arts Festival, which is coming downtown again for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah,
And
I heard
then-
that from the cover boy of the story I'm writing on Downtown Neighbors, Tito Comas.
Yes, it's going to be so cool. And then our final one, of course, is the one and only Little River Band. So we're really
nice.
excited. It's going to be a great series.
Wait, hold on. The Little River Band's coming downtown?
Absolutely.
Well, let's go ahead and take that break right now. I got some things to talk to you about. Talking to your buddy Bryce Peak today.
Oh, yeah?
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that as well, and we'll talk more about the Field Downtown concert.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Any pups in the house. Take a break and return after this time out on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. This is Marion County Sheriff Chris Blair's answer to a question posed by Buddy Martin.
If I had to rank top 3 types of crimes that you're dealt with, but after drugs, what are the other 2 or 3 that you guys would say take up most of your resources and your time?
Well, number one, certainly drugs is what's leading all crime. With the exception of homicide, where you may have a domestic violence type case and a husband kills the wife or vice versa. The ones that take time are the burglaries, the thefts, the auto burglaries.
That reprise of Ask the Cops was proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. Be sure to tune in to Ask the Cops the second and fourth Friday of every month during the 4 o'clock hour on the Voice of Ocala.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the Voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
WOCA, keeping you in touch with Ocala.
Life may not come with guarantees, but buying your next vehicle from Ford Lincoln of Ocala sure does. Start with their 7-day new vehicle price guarantee. If you find the identical new Ford or Lincoln vehicle anywhere else for less, Ford Lincoln of Ocala will refund you 110% of the difference. That's guaranteed. In the market for a quality pre-owned vehicle? Buy with confidence with Ford Lincoln of Ocala's 30-day pre-owned exchange policy. That's guaranteed. Ford Lincoln of Ocala's goal is to make buying your next vehicle fun, simple, fast, and guaranteed. guaranteed. Shop Ford Lincoln of Ocala today on North Highway 441, open 7 days a week, or shop at home at FordofOcala.com. A 7-day new vehicle price guarantee, a 30-day pre-owned vehicle exchange policy. That's buying with confidence. That's buying from Ford Lincoln of Ocala. That's guaranteed. Ford Lincoln of Ocala reserves the right to verify quotes, advertise prices, 30-day pre-owned exchange policy, or 1,000 miles from date of purchase. Does not apply to vehicles sold as is. See dealer for complete details.
So what did you do with your weekend? Me? I was flying, because I'm taking flying lessons from Ocala Aviation. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, I'd like to give that a shot, but I'm not quite sure. Well, I've got the solution. It's called the Discovery Flight, and that's exactly what it is. It helps you discover the wonder of flying and if it's for you. It's only $99, and it gives you the chance to learn a bit more about the airplane and then actually go for a ride with a flight instructor and take control of the airplane. That's how I got started, and now I'm on my way to being a pilot. Yeah, I know, scary thought, right? But the demand for qualified pilots is stronger than ever, and with the help of Ocala Aviation, you could make a career change and learn to be a commercial pilot. But it all starts with a Discovery Flight. So stop by the flight school, conveniently located at the Ocala Airport, visit the website at ocalaaviation.com, or call 861-7484. That's 861-7484. Ocala Aviation. Your adventure starts here.
I don't know. That's somebody, I guess, Janey must know. She says she knows who's singing this song. And somebody, you know, Janey, any particular reason?
This is Edwin. That was Edwin's 1998
who's like Edwin?
hit, Edwin McCain.
Oh, that's your guy, Edwin.
No, that's the guy we've got coming Friday.
Oh, that's him.
He's going to kick off the fall concert series for us.
What a coincidence that JJ would find that.
I know. That was really quick, JJ. I'm impressed. Yeah.
Tell us about it. This sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, Edwin's a really great artist. I've seen him several times live in concert, which is one of the reasons I chose to bring him to Ocala. He just puts on a great show. He's got an awesome band. His saxophone artist is out of this world. They have, a really light rock, kind of bluesy sound along the same sounds of Sister Hazel or maybe Darius Rucker. It's not quite country, not heavy rock. It's just really great and appeals to several demographics. So it's going to be a nice atmosphere out there Friday night.
Where? At Citizen Circle, right?
Yep, it's at Citizen Circle. The doors open at 6:30, and I say doors figuratively. It's a free concert, so anybody can come on out. We do have a perimeter fencing set up. Tri-Eagle Sales were kind enough to sponsor us for the alcohol sales at the concert, and we're sponsored by the Bud Light Music First campaign through Tri-Eagle. They've given a considerable amount for an in-kind donation to us. Mojo's Grill and Catering has also provided an in-kind donation.
He's always great, isn't he?
Yes, he's been really great for our VIP section. So any VIP ticket holders have free light appetizers from Mojo's, one free drink, guaranteed seat at the show up front and close. And then, of course, like I said, general admission is free. So, just bring your blankets and chairs and come on out. Our opening act is actually a friend of mine who I went to high school with named Charlie Walker, who is now known regionally and plays in Jacksonville Beach all the time. And he's a solo artist now, and he's going to come back to Ocala and open up for Edwin. And then Edwin will actually go on at 8:30.
Nice. And some days, if you ever have an occasion, you should get the Blue Jays out there.
They're awesome.
They are really good.
They're fantastic.
They are the official house band of this program.
Well,
Don't you know that?
I can believe it. I have never seen really locally anyone that entertaining. They were at our Marion Theater Plains event, and it rained and poured, and they were just the highlight of the event. So they were great. But I'll tell you a funny story really quick. I called the tour manager for Edwin McCain, and it's hard for me, kind of caught up in this, not to get to be that kind of giddy, groupie kind of person, because I love live music, and I'm talking to all these live artist companies and stuff, and I'm getting really excited. And when I was talking to Edwin McCain's tour manager, after we finished all the business, I said, okay, I have to ask you a question. It's more of just like a personal request. I said, I know it says that his house band is coming. does that mean a saxophone artist is coming too? Because he's actually my favorite. And the guy says to me, well, I'm actually the saxophone artist. I'm just his tour manager too. And so, you know,
made points there.
I have this moment where I'm like, oh, okay. Great.
I'm thinking,
hang up the phone.
Backstage pass for Janey right there.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited. It's going to be really good.
That's cool. Well, I've heard your name mentioned lately a lot. And in a very pleasant manner, I might add, for people who love your energy, what you're doing downtown.
Thanks, buddy.
And we got the mayor here. In a minute, we're going to bring him on and let you kind of hang around for a minute, if you will.
Yeah, thanks.
To discuss an idea that I've had yesterday, one of those things that just was exploded in my mind. But I wanted to ask you about the second part of your job, which is obviously this concert series is part of promoting downtown overall. And what's our progress like there? The Feel Downtown campaign apparently has worked out quite well.
It has. Yeah, you know, when I first came on board in 2011, the DBA and the Save the Marion Theater Group and a bunch of downtown stakeholders, you know, really kind of got that off the ground and going with the launch of the Feel Downtown campaign. And once they, you know, created the new position that I have now last year, I was able to kind of take hold of that and move it forward even further. And it's really been a partnership. And Bryce Peak, the DBA president, and I, along with several others, are working really hard to kind of unify all of these organizations so that we continue to have the collective momentum rather than each of our own individual efforts. But it's bigger and better than it's ever been. You know, we've got our website, feeldowntownocala.com, which is a one-stop shop for information. Our Facebook is close to 900 likes, and I mean, that's in a year, which is pretty significant. People are starting to see us and recognize things are going on through social media. We have Twitter, we have Instagram. And we're just working really well with the Visitors Convention Bureau, the cultural arts organizations. The Art Walk is back in full effect. We have a sculpture walk, a national sculpture walk, getting ready to be placed into Tuscaloosa Park next month. We're having information sessions for people who are wanting to know what's going on. We are working with the county, you know, the city, the chamber, the Tourism Development Council.
You must be exhausted.
I'm trying to rattle everything off by memory in case you can't notice. I'm like sitting here going through all of these like lists of mentally, you know, documented things in my brain. But really, it's just, I could not ask for a more energetic, just fulfilling job ever. It's
That's
really great.
Well, you were the ideal person for the job. And just as a person who just did a little teeny bit our part when we were putting on events downtown with Save the Marion, that could be exhausting. But when you got them all the time, I can't imagine what that could be like.
And I have to say, Pamela Calero, who works for communications, you know, and Janine Robbins with the city, and then of course, Carmen and Cesar Soto, have the Save the Marion Theater Group. Collectively, we've just really been able to amp up what's going on at the Marion. And without getting too far into everything, because October is going to be the best yet to come, let me tell you what, we've got so much in store. But now we're working with the symphony, and we're having Nosferatu, the 1920s silent film, being played with a live symphony orchestra score at the Marion at the end of October for Halloween. It's so exciting, buddy.
Great.
So exciting.
Well, you're right. I went to the movie and saw, over the weekend, I saw the movie with Oprah Winfrey. Why am I drawing a blank on it?
The Butler.
Butler, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I guess because I never had a butler.
Yeah.
But it was really good. And what I was struck by, though, it was Sunday night. It was slow. But I walked out of the theater, and it was just sparkling. It was clean.
It's gorgeous.
It was really, and lit up well, you know. And boy, this is a really nice theater, you know. I mean, never mind the historic part of it. Just a nice theater to go to.
It's the whole ambiance, everything downtown. When you go in, you have the shops, you have the atmosphere, the lights. I mean, and of course, the holidays are coming. So.
Right, and the Sotos have done such a good job. They were the perfect people to put in there. They lead with their heart. They're always putting a lot of effort into it, and you see exactly what we needed. So we got some good things going on. I'm excited. So now I'm ready to spring idea number 2 on you.
Bring it on.
But we'll get the mayor on here in a minute with you, and you can share a little with him on this idea. I'm going to make you both commit to this before you leave here.
Well, the mayor will be at my concert on Friday, too.
Nice.
So hopefully the rest of you will be also.
He is everywhere. He was today everywhere. He's already been in Gainesville today, back and forth. And you know me, I love people who are accessible, who want to come on and talk about what's going on.
Well, we're just glad to have the opportunity. It's just one more outlet for us to get the positive word out there.
What's great about it is that you'd be amazed how little information people seem to. You think they get it by osmosis?
I know. But sometimes I just pull my hair out. I'm like, how do you not know?
Yeah, and just like our frustration with Save the Marion, and we've had 8 front page stories, and we've had posters all over town. We talked about it on the radio, whatever, and still people say, "Oh, you're having a concert? You remember Friday? Why did that happen?" I must have, people have their own little worlds, don't they?
Well, we've been really lucky. The Star Banner, they're a community sponsor, and Dave Schlenker and Rick Allen and Mary Baggs, they're all really, really, intuitive and
they've always been supportive,
proactive.
and they do a great job. But a lot of people just don't be honest, don't read the newspaper, online or otherwise.
So then you're forced to kind of go, okay, what kind of guerrilla marketing, what kind of social media marketing, billboards, print, I mean, and all that gets expensive. So you really have to rely on word of mouth, just like what you're talking about.
Especially with free radio shows like this.
Absolutely.
All right, you ready to take on the project?
Let's do it.
Let's take a break.
Okay.
Come back. We'll be joined by Mayor Kent Guinn. Janey Pope has got this long title about downtown I can't remember. You want to say it?
Central Business District Program Manager.
Yeah, that. Okay. We'll take a break. We'll come back after this timeout on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Dry, itchy, scaly skin? Do you have psoriasis? Consider joining our research study. Renstar Medical Research in Ocala is conducting a research study evaluating the effectiveness of investigational combination of two study medications for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. You may qualify if you're between the ages of 18 and 75 and have been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for at least 6 months. For more information, please call Renstar in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Qualified participants may receive study-related medical care and study medication. Compensation for time and travel may also be provided. To find out more information about this psoriasis study, please call Renstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Renstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed rate allowance.
Yahoo! Kids are back in school and report cards are right around the corner. I've got old cars shaking in their boots because I'm flunking clunkers and junkers this month.
Hey, Professor Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. What's a smart plan to keep you from flunking out in a car that can't make the grade?
This week, trade in and save more. Get the appraised value of your old car plus up to $4,500 off a nicer, newer car.
Stuck in bad credit detention? Our For the People credit approval process wants to help everyone, even if you've been turned down before.
I vow that no car will be left behind.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales today.
Yes, during our old car report card event, you'll get up to $4,500 off a nicer, newer car, plus the appraised value of your old car. But hurry, my old car report card event ends September 30th, or after we've helped 67 students pass the test in a nicer, newer car. My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala or Bellevue, or call 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Look who just walked in the room, Joel Wiesner from What's Up Ocala. Hey, Joel, I'm looking for something to do this weekend. You got any ideas?
Absolutely. Check out our event calendar online at www.whatsupocala.com, and there is plenty of events there for you. Daily news updates to event reviews and magazine articles.
Really?
We've organized it all in one place online for you to cut through all of the hassle of finding something to do this weekend. We have a daily event calendar, a bi-monthly magazine, and we also do daily news articles.
All right, Joel, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah, whatsupocala.com.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source. Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Don't ever miss a single edition of the Mike Huckabee Show. We're going to have a whole lot of fun talking the big issues of the day. We'll talk to the newsmakers and the issues that made them a newsmaker, as well as we'll bring you some entertainment, some fun. You never know what's going to happen on the Mike Huckabee Show. Don't miss it.
Join Mike Huckabee every weekday from noon to 3 exclusively on WOCA The Source.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Where in Florida? Partly sunny today. Look for a shower with thunderstorm around. Only in the morning, though, at the beaches. The high 87 to 91. And partly cloudy tonight, low 70 to 74. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sunshine with a passing shower with thunderstorm, high 87 to 91. On Friday, intervals of clouds and sun with a shower and thunderstorm around, high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
1370 WOCA.
All right, back on the Voice of Ocala with Janey Pope. Now we're joined by the mayor of Ocala, Mr. Kent Guinn. Good afternoon, Mayor. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, buddy.
We're just having an interesting conversation during the break about all the planning going on downtown. I made a statement yesterday in one of my usually soapbox deals where I get on about we're on the 5-yard line with a lot of things in our community right now.
Right, definitely.
And certainly we know Silver Springs is one. 49 has been consummated. The downtown project has really moved in already. They're kind of already been, but we have other things. We're still trying to finish off other things. The New York Yankees situation, if we end up getting that deal. The whole idea about the concert hall in Tuscaloosa Park, Linear Park, all those great things which we have right here.
Right.
And I made a statement, what we need to do is find out how to push it across the goal line, the rest of these things. Now, to credit people like Janey Pope and Mayor Guinn to some of your efforts as well, we have gotten some things done. But before we get into other questions, what's it going to take for us to get the ball across the goal line?
Well, same thing I've told you before, and someone asked me when I ran for office this last time, so what do you think Ocala's biggest problem is? And I said that we have a hard time believing in ourselves. It's just amazing how we get to where we are right now. Like you said, on the 5-yard line, we've shot ourselves in the foot since probably the 50s. Sometimes we just don't believe that this stuff can happen actually to Ocala, and it can. Janey's doing an awesome job, but we just have to stay very, very focused on each and every project and follow it through to the end. It'll happen. But the key in it is just believing in Ocala that we can get this stuff done, and that's one of the things between now and probably January, February, March, whenever it may be. I think it's probably going to be February, March, when we have hopefully a special election for the half-cent sales tax that we're going to propose to the county commission to put on the ballot for this Yankees project. And it'll be the Yankees, the stadium, some money for Silver Springs, and then perhaps something else, maybe a conference center. But we're going to have that conversation here shortly. We're going to try to bring that to council on October 1st to unveil it, and then on the 15th we'll take it to the county commission and ask them to put it on the ballot to let people vote on it, and then we'll have a campaign in between the time they make that decision and it actually gets on a ballot to vote on sometime in probably February, March.
All right, so let me bring Janey here on this part of the discussion about the downtown project. We talked during the break about Vision 2035, which is part of something you were involved in, and now Janey and Bryce Peak, a very bright young man, I think he's really done a great job in his first year at DBA, and who hopes to help with his father build the hotel on the square. Now we have we're going to take another look at this. Janey's going to go to a convention in the state. They're going to get some ideas and bring it back. But you explained to me there were kind of apples and oranges. Is that what you were saying? These two plans, the plans that the plan you talked about, you were involved in 2035, Vision 2035, was put together by who?
Well, that was put together by a group of people, consultants.
What was the name of the group? You just said?
Well,
I thought you said AIG or
no. MIG is the people that did. It's more Isofano, and I can't remember what the G stands for. But they're a group out of Berkeley, California, that did the master plan. I did a lot of what Janey and Bryce are doing. I went to International Downtown Association meeting, I think in Pittsburgh and Boston, and tried to understand how do you do a master plan, and how does all that happen. And I met a lot of these groups there, and then we invited them to Ocala, put out a request for proposal, spent probably 6 months meeting with stakeholders in the downtown, saying what do you want the downtown to look like, what's important, et cetera, et cetera. And we spent the money to do that master plan. And so in that master plan that we developed for the downtown, it's incorporated in the 2035 vision plan.
Okay.
Because when we did the 2035 vision plan, I told Matt Brower, our city manager, I said, there's no need to try to reinvent what the master plan was for downtown. Council voted on it. The citizens said that that's what they wanted. So to go back and say, well, we're going to undo all that and we're going to start over, you don't need to do that. Every property is in the same place as it was in 2003. The government sector is still where the government sector is. The retail is still where the retail needs to be. The parking garages are still in the same places that they need to be or where they were proposed to be. Everything's still the same. You just have to pull the trigger on it and make it happen. Now, what Bryce and Kirk Boone and Albert are doing on the hotel site, like I said before, once people see bricks and mortar coming out of the ground on that site, people will believe this is actually going to happen. The rest of it will fall into place. People will start to acquire properties. People will start to want to move downtown. Same thing with what Sandy McBride's doing with the Sprint building. As soon as they see a construction dumpster out in the back of that building and they see activity going on, people will know this is actually going to happen. It's been 10 years. This is going to happen. Let's start, buying property downtown, developing other property. It will happen.
All right, so let me stop you right there, and Janey, interject, because just to get the timeline straight now.
Yeah.
2030. Now,
Yes,
there was
sir.
a time a year ago, was it, we went to Georgia, or was it 2 years?
Yes, sir. It was actually it might have even been closer to 2 years
2 years
now.
ago when we all went to Georgia to visit those two cities.
Right.
And Matt Brower took us up there from the good ship Ocala, as I named the bus. And we went to Decatur and
Noonan. Yes, sir.
And we saw these towns, the different towns. And Matt is was getting some ideas, and we were all commenting on what was there to try to fold this in, if that's the plan, to 2035, correct?
Yeah, and I think it's just really important to remember that, we can label each individual thing, master plan 2035, the, Main Street program, whatever you want to call it. Ultimately and collectively, it's this vision for a unified front between all of these organizations who are investing their time and their effort into the revitalization of downtown. And that's why he took the trip to Noonan and to Decatur to see it in action. And any steps that we make, and I say we as in the city, but also myself and Bryce and the rest of the individuals working with us to form, this partnership, are to only complement the efforts already made by the Vision 2035 committee and those who have been invested in developing the downtown master plan. Right. And unfortunately, we were talking before we came back on the air, about how there's not a lot of shovels in the ground yet. But if I could just share even a fraction of what's going on in the planning stages behind the scenes for the development of downtown in the next 5 to 10 years, people would just be so overwhelmed with excitement.
That's what we need. We need that level of excitement to get
it's
that
so
vision,
hard to big picture it. But really, I mean, we've talked about it numerous times. But Mayor Guinn here has talked about the hotel potentially and the loft apartments potentially downtown. We've already got the farmers market. We've got the concert venues. We've got the Reinvent Tuscaloosa project going on. Linear Park. We're trying to work with DOT on a left-hand turn lane for 40 so we can get some traffic on the north side. Potentially the Gaslight District. The renovation of the square is huge. It's gorgeous.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Now, that is, we are on the 5-yard line there.
Absolutely,
we are on the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to get to is bringing us from Kent in 2035 to the trip to Georgia, where he came back and there was a group formed.
Yep.
And out of that group came the idea to hire a person to run downtown, the promotion, and that is you.
Yes, sir.
And that is the job you've done so well, so skillfully. So now all I'm trying to get to is what do we hope to gain and know from the next thing, which is what can we learn from Main Street program?
Well, the Main Street program has been proven successful in over 300 cities with revitalizing downtowns. And Bryce and I really just want to better understand the program. In Decatur and in Noonan, which is the trip you all took. And I wasn't able to attend that trip, unfortunately, and it was before my position was created. But I do believe both of those cities were part of the Main Street program.
Yes, they were, I believe, too.
The Florida Main Street Association, they have several cities in Florida that are all part of it, and what we're hoping to do is just go and learn from the people who've been doing this for more than 20 years, who've successfully reinvented and rejuvenated downtowns, and places like Delray Beach, Volano Beach, which is near St. Augustine, and it doesn't have to be a beach.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got DeLand, who's just revitalized their downtown.
Wonderful downtown. I think DeLand is a wonderful downtown.
Yeah, Leesburg has a partnership. They're doing very well with their art festivals, markets, and Bike Fest, obviously. So it's not that we're trying to copy anything.
Right.
We just, there's
Cherry
nothing
pick
wrong
an idea
with,
here and
absolutely.
there.
We want to share and exchange.
Let me ask you, Ken, you've been in this a long time in public service. Where do you think we stand right now, Ken?
As far as the downtown?
As far as the whole project for downtown and the things we've been talking about, what do you think we are right now?
We're just right at putting a shovel in the ground and making it happen.
You're singing like at the 3-yard line instead of the 5, or what are you saying?
We're close. I feel like we're closer than that. I really do. I mean,
you think we're on the 1-yard line?
Yeah, I mean, we gave Albert and Bryce and Kurt and Sandy, the extension, to do that. I mean, they are in talking to them, and you've talked to them. They're, it's in TV, but I'm putting my fingers about, an eighth of an inch
You're
apart.
You're actually saying we're on the 1-inch line.
Yeah, we're on the 1-inch line. Yeah, it's when they say, okay, we're ready, then that's it. I mean, they've done all the hard work. This is everything that we tried to put together. It's local people, local money, local builders. It's everything we waited for. It's standing right in front of us, and it was the other night at City Council meeting. So we're ready.
All right, I'll give you a 3-yard line. I'm not ready to say 1-inch line.
I have to say, buddy, I have to argue a little bit because I feel like we've already started. I feel like we've kicked off.
I don't mean just the downtown. I'm talking about everything.
I know.
Everything here. We got a long way to go in Silver Springs and whatever.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the completion of Citizen Circle and the amount of people that are 30 to 40 kids daily this summer at the splash pad,
amazing.
I mean, we've started.
Yeah. Right.
We're not on the larger scale yet with some of these implementations of these bigger projects, but we absolutely have started.
So that's good to know, and this is the kind of thing that I love to have on the show because the people have got to be kept in the loop, and we've done a pretty good job of it, but like we said, you got to tell people over and over and over and over. Now, real quick, got to go to break. What you got, Mayor?
Well, and just, we've got to get people living downtown, just like, well.
Yeah, I know you feel strongly about that.
Say something.
And then I'm throwing out another idea, which I mentioned yesterday, is one little thing to talk about maybe a little thing down the Marion Theater. It might be fun to do. Janey's got plenty of good ideas, and we'll talk about Stand Up for Ocala Night next, right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Recently, I had a great conversation with General Manager Pat Murray on the special events at Country Club of Ocala.
We have a lot of events, special events here that are geared towards the family. Easter comes to mind. We have an Easter bunny who hops around on the driving range. We usually hide somewhere in a neighborhood of 3,000 eggs and turn them loose and let them go harvest the eggs. We have a great family celebration here on the 4th of July where it's a traditional cookout, if you will. And as the sun goes down, the driving range becomes alive with probably one of the better fireworks displays in the area. Breakfast with Santa is a big deal.
Country Club of Ocala, where the Easter Bunny, Santa, and all the children, large and small, are a big deal on every special occasion. For more information, call 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of the Monday Gator Report right here on The Source. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Right here since 1957. We're WOCA, News Talk 1370.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to John Lloyd and John Mitchinson. They are the creators of QI, which is quite interesting. They're speaking about the 1,227 quite interesting facts to blow your socks off.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then Hank Whittier will be in the studio bringing you veterans news as he does each and every Thursday.
Dr. Robert Hanlon is a board-certified clinical neuropsychologist. He's written a book called Survived by One, The Life and Mind of a Family Mass Murderer.
And then True Grits Restaurant will be in the studio. Well, not the restaurant itself, just three of the representatives like Southern Belle, Yankee Girl, and BJ. They're coming in to talk about a taste of the South.
John Lashak and Reverend Robert Roseberry from St. Paul's United Methodist Church will be in the studio with Lori Arnold. She's a lyric mezzo-soprano, and she performed for Pope Benedict at the Vatican. They'll be speaking about Lori's concert on September 15th.
All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on the Source WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Cookies, 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 cookies. When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. That's right. The Great American Cookie Company in the Paddock Mall, Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. You might notice that I said fun and delicious more than once. That's because I can't say it enough. The next time you're at the mall, be sure and stop by or call 352-237-2557 to place your order. Cookies, cookies, Yum. Cookies, cookies. We go cookie eating cookies. The Great American Cookie Company.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Yeah, there will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be.
I wrap up the segment hour with Mayor Guinn and Janey Pope. And we don't have a very little length of time to discuss this, but I want to take 30 seconds again, Janey, to talk about the concert real quick to remind folks what it is and where it is and how to get in touch.
Yep, it is the first concert for our Feel Downtown Live concert series, and it's Edwin McCain and Charlie Walker is opening. It's Friday night, free general admission. Bring your chairs and blankets and come hang out with your family. Have a great time. Doors open at 6:30. Concert starts at 7:30. VIP tickets are available. You can go to feeldowntownocala.com/live for information. And we just really encourage folks to go downtown, maybe get some dinner first and then stroll on over to Citizen Circle. Or maybe, you know, if you're more of the partying type, hang out and see the show first and then go downtown afterward.
There you go.
It's for everybody.
Good venue downtown. All right, here's my little thing I talked about yesterday, and we've discussed this a little bit. Put this out for folks to know. I think we should do a stand-up for Ocala for wannabe stand-up comics. Not people who are professionals, but people who fancy themselves as, have tryouts, and really the worse the better in some cases. But anyway, I mean, Johnny Carson used to Obama's monologue. Those are the most popular things he ever did. So I'm saying that we can get a core group of people. We got to have a few celebrities in there who are willing to stand up and make fools of themselves for a 10-minute routine. And we raise money for the Marion Theater. It's Friends of the Marion Theater Group, which helps supports the Marion. I'm looking for a couple of amens from down there at the end of the
Oh,
table.
you got an amen
yeah,
from me.
absolutely. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
So now, who is the funniest person that you know? Or who is the least funniest person you know?
The funniest person I know is our former deputy city manager, John Zobler.
John Zobler. Are
Oh
you
my
serious?
goodness, I am dead serious.
Can he do stand-up
Yes.
comedy?
I don't know, but I sometimes would be.
So you're
speechless.
nominating John Zobler.
Yes.
Well, I've got a friend that works.
I can't. You can't use county commissioners. Okay, just out.
Yeah, you can't do the every city council and county commission meetings. No, friend of mine that works over at Skyline, a guy named David Otzel. He's hilarious. He would do a great job.
But now
he
remember,
would do it in a heartbeat. Yeah, David.
What?
Oh, yes.
All right, now what
absolutely.
celebrity could we embarrass to get up there and make? Who would be a good celebrity we could get that we could?
Tom.
Tom. No, Tom.
Can't embarrass me. I did stand up. Can't embarrass me.
He'll just be happy I called him a celebrity.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. He's good there. He's good for the whole week now. All right, we think about this.
We will.
We could do it in the spring or whatever, a little downtown. And what a fun night that could be. Of course, we'd have to have a core group of people to be the judges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at 2 people right now who might be able to help in that area.
Oh, I'd love to be.
Probably one person who has a little bit of knowledge in the actual stand-up comedy world.
Right.
And we'll put it together, have a great evening at the Barron Theater. So
I think it sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think
that's
that's
great. I love the
great.
name too. Stand up for a
stand up for, and it has to be Ocala material. It can't be somebody ripping off a comedy act.
Real quick, buddy. Remember who yesterday when you came up with this idea? The consensus in the room. Who would be the least? What person would be the least?
I told him
person to do it.
What, Tom?
Mayor Kent Guinn.
I already told him. I always said who the least likely person who's stand up, which means maybe I don't know. The mayor he may be hilarious. We don't know.
I'm trying to think. You must get
every
pressured
once in a
into doing
while.
so much stuff. I remember trying to make him dress like a zombie too. I mean, you never know what he's going to be asked to
if
do.
you mess with his wardrobe, that's a whole different deal.
know.
His comedy routine, yes. His wardrobe, no. He wanted you to.
So I had to say no on something on the way over here. Somebody wanted me to do for the Elks Club.
Dress up as a pig or something.
No, it was escorting some models or something like that. I said, nah.
Draw the line on certain things. Well, anyway, the word is out, Janey.
Yes.
The word is out. Whenever we can do it, we'll have one night we'll go down to one of the local places and have a little beverage and talk about Stand Up for Ocala. Janey, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having
Good luck
me.
with the concert series. And Ed McCain, is his grandfather John coming? I'm just kidding.
Oh gosh, don't start anything.
And Mayor Kent Guinn.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it. Take a break. All right, coming back for our Buddy Sports page. Stay tuned. A lot of coming your way right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
I don't feel the sun's coming out today. Staying in.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and